This is SoundOff, Louisiana's premier television sports show. Coming to you from Sportsbook at L'Auberge Lake Charles. Here are the guys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
We hope to keep you entertained and thinking
As always.
deep thoughts through the entire show. If not, I don't know, you might end up throwing something at your large screen TV because we're going to bound to say something that you're not going to agree with or like.
We're going to spark your interest, I promise
just don't
you we
throw
will.
anything at your big screen TV.
No.
That's Kevin Guidry, Rick Sarah.
Always.
Scooter Hobbs is off this week.
Listen, my buddy.
Welcome back to the Sportsbook at L'Auberge where it's live sports, elite sports betting, and great food and drink right here all the time. Hey, we're going to talk historic nature of Mcneese basketball as we get ready for the Southland Conference tournament next week. Will Wade and what else can they do? Regular season championship and the like. Cowgirl basketball is another story. Their season is over. We're going to discuss where this program is going to go. Where can it go? So hang on to it.
What
they need
makes
more
me
wins,
funny,
that's for one thing.
Yeah, what makes me funny, Mcneese last win was against the worst team in their conference.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say it like that, guys,
LSU, I'm going to change subject.
I'm
LSU
just
spring
saying.
football will
Wow.
debate the pressing questions
Wow.
that faces Brian Kelly and that staff. And if hopefully we'll get to it.
Yes.
The New Orleans Saints, don't throw anything at your TV.
Rick, the New Orleans
Should
Saints.
should they position themselves for one of those quarterbacks? Because there are a slew of
But
quarterbacks.
that's your boy. Carr's your boy.
I know he's my boy. I know
Carr's
he's my
your
boy. But this is a deep quarterback class.
Carr's not a top 10 quarterback. I told you that.
I didn't never said he was.
You said he was a
said-
top 10 quarterback.
I said top 15. There's a difference. There's a difference. All right. And this college football playoff format.
When will it end?
12, 14, SEC,
when will
Big
it-
Ten,
when will
flexing
it
their
end?
muscles.
When will it end, Rick?
All right. The regular season is in the books for the Mcneese Cowboy
Yes.
basketball season. Look, the regular season's over. Look, I mean, the numbers are just stark compared to last year.
Compared to
They
a
won
lot
the
of
regular
years.
season championship. They've set all the records you can set. They're
Yeah.
setting even attendance records now at the
They are,
Legacy Center. They're getting ready for the tournament next week. They've got the double bye.
Yeah.
All right, huge.
Which is
All
deserving.
right, the double bye.
Which is deserving, too.
Is there concern for this group that they might start thinking that we're all that in a bag of pork rinds, get complacent, go into the tournament, and, hey, we're just going to breeze on through? Because Southeastern will be there.
Let me give you
Corpus
my
Christi will be there.
Let me give you my answer.
And now one more comment before the floor is yours. The pressure is going to be on the Cowboys. Because to get to the ultimate goal for Will Wade is to get in the NCAA, right?
You got to win the tournament.
And you got to win this tournament. The other guys, they're just going to loose goose, man. Hey, we're going to try to knock these boys off.
Yeah.
So the floor is yours.
Let me say this. The answer to your question, will they get complacent? The answer is not no, but
Hell no. Not with
Will
Will Wade.
Will
No,
Wade?
No, I know that.
He's jumping up and down, getting a migraine when they're up by 20.
I know.
Okay? So, Rick, no. And let me tell you something. These guys, Rick, when I look at them play, Rick, they're two together. They can feed off each other, Rick. And when you look at
And
other
they're
teams,
mature.
Rick, you look
It's
at other
an
teams
older team.
around the conference, Rick, you know, they're just trying to make something happen or add a spark or whatever. These guys know how to go to their money guy to get the crowd up and to get the crowd moving. Yep. They don't need all the fame, Rick. And this is one thing I've said about this team, Rick, when I watched them early on. It's not about me, or I. It's us. It's we.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
you're right.
Rick,
You're right.
That's what I think that's
Goes
going
a
to
long
get these
way.
guys.
It goes a
That's
long
what's
way.
going to get these guys to their championship game, Rick, is playing like that. So Will Wade, he's got him under control.
Will Wade built this team to win championships.
In 1 year, Rick.
In 1 year.
Make no mistake now.
No, in 1 year.
In 1 year, Rick.
So it started with Shahada Wells, veteran player out of TCU. Then he went for more veteran when he got Javon Garcia and Anthony
3
McCollum out of the JUCO ranks in California. Then he went for more maturity and skill when he went to the D1 for DJ Richards, Mike Saunders off the bench, and CJ Felder from Boston College in Florida.
He knew, Rick.
So he got veteran players with skill sets that mesh very well, with the goal in mind of winning the Southland Conference Championship, the championship in the tournament, and get to the NCAA.
Rick, you've got some teams in the Southland.
There's no just, I just want to contend.
You've got some teams in the Southland, Rick, that have had guys they played together for 3 years.
Yeah.
And can't beat Mcneese.
I know.
Only been together 1 year,
Yeah.
Rick. So, to me, Rick, these guys, Rick, they set the standard for what I think the Southland is going to look like for years to come. For as long as Will Wade's there, they're going to set the standard for what Southland Conference basketball looks like, Rick. And let me say this, Rick. It's sad, and I don't like it, because if something was to happen to where they don't win the tournament, you know, to get in that large bid would be nothing.
It's all for naught.
Yeah,
you're right.
I don't like that setup, Rick. I don't like that setup.
That's the setup.
That's the setup, Rick. So Will Wade's well aware of that, and I know the guys that's playing for him, they're well aware of that, to know that.
This team has been conditioned, and the rest of the league knew it.
They have.
When they opened the year and they beat VCU on the road.
That was a big win, Rick. Michigan.
And they go on the road and beat UAB.
Yeah.
They beat Michigan on the road. They beat Southern Miss and UL Lafayette at the Legacy Center.
Yeah.
The rest of the league knew it.
They beat last year's conference champions.
Exactly.
They beat
both
them,
of them, regular season and
they beat them.
So
they beat them.
This team knew from day one, when they first got together, probably in a meeting room somewhere, that this was going to be a championship team. That was the goal and the ceiling. And now it's here. It's tournament time.
This is the thing that kind of gets me, Rick. When you look at Will Wade coming together with those guys for the first time in that meeting room, some of them had never even seen each other, Rick. Who are you? Who are you? I'm so-and-so. Look where they're at now, Rick.
Yeah. Will Wade and that staff.
That speaks volume, Rick.
We're going to, one game at a time is not a cliche. It's, well, you know that.
It is.
One game at a time, one game at a time, one game. But always big picture. The macro view. The big picture is win the regular season, because that gives you a double bye into the tournament. Win the tournament and get to the NCAA.
It does, Rick.
That's the goal. And look,
Will Wade has set the standard, man. It will never be the same.
The ceiling is high, but
it will never be the same, Rick.
I've always been for Southland anyway. Before it went to the Legacy Center.
Yeah.
Why do you have the tournament?
I know.
Just let the regular season champion take the bid. But that's not how it works.
No, that's not how it works.
You win big. When you go to the Max Bar and Grill at the National in Westlake, you win with fantastic food, voted best in the region as new restaurant a few years ago. You win with fast, friendly service from a staff that appreciates your business. You win with the great bar, and of course you win with the Max Bar and Grill at the Westlake National.
If it's a story worth telling, it starts with Getaways specializing in me time. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Escapes to soak the day away. And rounds on a course designed by Tom Fazio. Start a story all your own at Le Berge Lake Charles.
Miller Lite has more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
We're the attorneys Southwest Louisiana has known and trusted for decades. We fought relentlessly for our clients and won. We are proud to announce a new name based on our legacy of success. We are Lundy Law. The name may be new, but our team's commitment to pursuing justice for our clients has never been stronger. From personal injury and maritime cases to insurance claims, mass tort, and civil litigation, you can count on the experienced attorneys at Lundy Law.
What's bugging you?
Is it termites? The season is now and they are swarming. At J&J Exterminating, we offer some very effective weapons against infestation of your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Don't wait. Contact us now for a free inspection.
He's here. Anyone want a Coors Light?
Oh shoot, I forgot to play the song. I got a guy who can fix this.
Welcome back to the Sportsbook at La Berge, where you can enjoy Ladies' Night, Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6. Drink specials and food specials right here at the Sportsbook at La Berge. All right, SoundOff presented to you by Lundy Law of Lake Charles. Also presented to you by J&J Exterminating, serving Louisiana for over 60 years. And presented by La Berge Casino Resort. All right. Earlier in the week, you and I, well, we did agree on this. We did. I didn't have to throw the flag on you. We agreed on the Caitlin Clark, Pistol Pete Maravich, college basketball scoring thing, generational, men's and women's, can't compare. The NCAA doesn't group it.
No,
but a lot of the headlines was Caitlin Clark was now the leading scorer in the history of college basketball. Look at, and it is. She is.
But you got to look at the inside factors as to what. Pistol Pete did not have a three-point line when he played. Pistol Pete, like you said, did not have a shot clock.
The shot clock is important.
Yeah, it is.
Because what happens in the shot clock? It forces you to what? Shoot the ball.
To shoot the ball.
You know? A lot of times in college basketball,
you
remember
kill
the
time.
North
You can
Carolina
dribble,
Dean
dribble,
Smith,
dribble around,
the four corners?
Yeah, you can do that, Rick. But the thing is this, though. When you look at Pistol Pete, I mean, wow, Rick, come on now. Come on,
Amazing. Young people, go on YouTube.
Yeah.
Watch Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete was the man.
He was far ahead of his time.
I didn't see him play when he was at LSU, though, but I've heard and I've seen films of him. He did it. I mean, I love Pistol Pete, man. This dude did it, man.
The
Seriously.
record, 54 years, and in my opinion, it's still standing. I'm
And
sorry,
Pistol-
men's
if
basketball
watch,
score champ.
Pistol Pete did this in Chuck Taylor's. Okay.
Yeah.
Hear what I'm saying now? Chuck Taylor's, man.
Yeah. All right. On the other side of women's college basketball sits the Mcneese Cowgirls. All right. Look, this team has struggled for 3 years now.
A lot.
Under Lynn Kennedy, the first year, 13 wins. First season, some injuries, maybe a lot of injuries. That's not bad. 13 wins. That's more wins than that program had for about 6-7 years. 13 wins. Now you're kind of scratching your nose like 13. What is that in basketball? I got it.
Well, I mean, their last win this year was.
Well, no, I'm just talking 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Last year was 12-19. Okay. This year, they didn't get the double-digit wins.
No.
A 17-game losing streak. Struggle. Attendance fell to nothing.
It did.
And they didn't qualify for the conference tournament, which is going to be on their home floor.
It's here.
And that has to irk AD Heath
That's got
Shore.
to be embarrassing.
That's got to
Rick.
irk him.
But it's got to be embarrassing too, Rick.
Look,
This is my
that's
thing,
your
Rick.
word.
When you look, your last win was against the worst team in the conference. I mean, come on now, guys. Look, this is my thing. When I look at the women's basketball there at Mcneese, how can you have 15 girls on that squad and you don't have any local kids throughout this state or here locally, and you got teams such as St. Louis, LaGrange, and around the state winning state championships? You can't recruit those kids to come and play for your program,
Just
Rick?
because they win state championships doesn't mean they're
But
good
what I'm
for
saying,
college
Rick,
basketball.
But you've got potential though locally.
I'm
That's
not saying
even
there
sitting-
isn't. I'm not
that's
saying
not
the
even
local
sitting
area.
on that
I'm not saying
bench,
the
Rick.
local area doesn't have talent.
That's the one
I'm not
thing that's
saying
kind of bothered me.
But-
You don't have any local talent on your bench, or even throughout the state.
Lynn
Or let me
Kennedy-
say this, or maybe even in the country.
Well, he likes the foreign style players. He has a lot of foreign
Apparently, it
players.
ain't working.
Apparently not. And I've said that. I've asked him questions about that. He thinks they play athletic, up-tempo basketball. I don't see it. But he's done
Maybe
it.
I'm watching a different game.
He's done it now for 3 years. He's had a lot of foreign players, and I'm not saying they're not good players.
I'm not saying it
but
either.
Maybe it just doesn't mesh well with the rest of the conference.
Yeah, Rick,
This conference can be
yeah.
athletic and fast, and I just don't think they're very athletic and fast enough.
They're not, Rick. I've seen them play. They are not athletic. I mean,
Well-
I don't mean that in a mean way, but teams that they play, Rick, are a lot quicker.
All right, so the overarching question is, now that the season is over for the Mcneese Cowgirls, is where do they go? Will Heath Schroyer say enough is enough and let Lynn Kennedy go and opt to do the contract buyout, which is well north of $100,000, or will he retain him and give it another year? I'm not going to make my prediction. I'm not going to say, because I'm going to leave that up to Heath Schroyer.
Rick,
It'll be interesting.
my thing
It'll
is,
be interesting.
right now, in the day and age of basketball, women and men, there is something that's called the portal.
Yep.
There is no way. I'm not going to say
Okay,
that.
let's move on to LSU spring football.
Yes,
Well, the facts are the
yes.
facts.
Yes.
They will have a new quarterback in Garrett Nussmeier.
They will.
They will have 4 of the 5 offensive line starters back, and those tackles, they have to be the best in the SEC.
I'm hoping, Rick.
Jones,
I'm hoping.
and Campbell,
I'm hoping, Rick.
the wide
I'm
tackles.
hoping, Rick.
So
Yeah.
those are some of the facts. Kyron Lacey, experienced receiver coming
Yeah.
back. No running backs in spring drills, only
No.
2. But that
No.
Caleb Jackson, he's a bull.
He is.
He's a bull. Linebackers, Penn and Harold Perkins.
Yeah, Perkins is
Good,
back.
I mean, Perkins is an
And
all-star, right?
let Perkins play his position, coach.
Well, tell
don't
Blake
put him-
Baker that.
Don't put him in the middle of the field. Let this man be an edge rusher. He's not a middle linebacker, okay?
I'm
He's
with
not
you.
a Devin White.
Okay.
He's not a Devin White.
What's
He's not a Devin White.
What's your problem with Garrett Nussmeier at quarterback?
I don't have a problem with him. I'm just wondering if the system's going to fit his style of play.
Well, they're going to have
That's-
to change the system.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
mean-
will that benefit or will that hurt LSU?
Well,
Because
Jaden Daniels had some called run plays.
Yes.
A lot of it was ad-lib,
Yes.
Kevin. You know that.
Yes,
but Garrett Nussmeier will not run like Jaden Daniels.
No, he will not. And
Nobody can.
And
really.
that's the thing that gave LSU the edge, that put defenses on their heels, because they knew if Jaden took off, he could take it to the house.
I know. Well,
so
the offense will have to change because the production is going to have to come from the wideouts, the tight end. Remember the tight end, the running game.
But let me tell you what defenses will do, Rick. Being that they know Garrett is not the type of runner that Jaden was, defenses will play you different. Defenses will now play you more man.
Okay, all right.
Because of the fact the threat of run from you as a quarterback is not there.
You know,
so that's how defense can play you different. Right. Now, that's harder for him in reading if you up in man, because now your checks, you don't know what the defensive back is going to do right now, even if you check it.
I'll give this to Nussmeier. He's been hanging around for like 3 years.
He's been around a while, yeah.
So give him credit for that.
But the thing with Jaden Daniels, you made a lot of teams back off to where he could see what their play was.
Jaden Daniels way up here. He won the damn Heisman. Garrett Nussmeier, the biggest question is defense. The defensive line has no edge rushers of any proven skill.
Let Harold Perkins play his position, coaches. Please. Let him play his position. I keep saying it, he's not Devin White. Let it go.
Well, you want him to pressure the quarterback.
Yes, let it go.
And that's where he's really
That's what he's best at,
the new DC, Blaker, is going to have to allow that to happen.
You know? So, look, Rick, this is my thing on LSU, man.
And secondary, Kevin, they got to rebuild the secondary.
You got Corey Raymond back. Hopefully, Corey can go around and get some kids out of this portal that can come back and play. This kid, Chestnut, he better not bring another Chestnut to LSU for as long as I'm watching LSU football, okay?
We will have more on LSU Tigers in spring as the weeks go on. We're up against the clock. We'll see you after the break.
We're the attorneys Southwest Louisiana has known and trusted for decades. We fought relentlessly for our clients and won. We are proud to announce a new name based on our legacy of success. We are Lundy Law. The name may be new, but our team's commitment to pursuing justice for our clients has never been stronger. From personal injury and maritime cases to insurance claims, mass tort, and civil litigation, you can count on the experienced attorneys at Lundy Law.
J&J Exterminating is here for you with our water damage sanitation treatments and wood protective borate treatments. There is no charge for home evaluations. Contact your local J&J Exterminating professional.
Miller Lite has more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
What's bugging you?
Is it termites? The season is now and they are swarming. At J&J Exterminating, we offer some very effective weapons against infestation of your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Don't wait. Contact us now for a free inspection.
All right, we're back at the Sportsbook. At LaBear's Kevin Gitter, Rick Serra holding down the fort. Scooter Hobbs off this week.
Missing my buddy Scooter.
Next week, Southland Conference.
Yes.
Basketball tournament. SLC Commissioner
Legacy
Chris
Center.
Grant at the Legacy Center. SLC Commissioner Chris Grant is scheduled to be here with us.
He was on before. Good conversation with
you. Be on your best behavior.
I've got a lot to talk about.
It's the commission.
A lot to talk with the commissioner.
You need to tell me that, though. All right, Chris Grant is scheduled. We hope we'll get him up here to do some segments all next week on SoundOff, the commissioner of the Southland Conference. All right, last week we were one of the first, at least in this area, to start talking about the college football playoff format starting at 12 teams this year, but already talking about going to 14 and possibly 16 by 2026 and beyond.
Can't you see
it, Rick? Now there's yet another wrinkle.
Can't you see it, Rick?
Get this. The SEC, and we ushered it in last week. You and I debated the 12 and 14 and all.
12 is good,
now
man.
the SEC and the Big Ten have gone to the management committee and said, well, if we're going to do it, we want 3 automatic bids, both the SEC and the Big Ten. 3. Automatic.
How do you?
It doesn't matter what happens around the country. 3 automatic bids.
How you ask for that?
Well, you said last week the SEC better get their share.
Oh, they will, Rick. Believe we always do.
But this is automatic, though.
We always do, Rick. Make no mistake. But I mean, I think it doesn't have to be automatic. We're going to get it regardless. We're going to have 3 teams in the top 5 regardless.
I mean, there are coaches around the country
crazy,
just
Rick.
up in arms.
That's crazy.
Like, what?
That's crazy.
Before
Rick.
before a pass is thrown, the SEC is
No.
guaranteed 3 teams. The Big Ten is guaranteed 3.
Rick, you can't do that. You can't.
They want it.
You can't do that.
They call it the 3-3,
You
2,
cannot
2,
do
and
that.
1
You
format.
cannot do that.
So the Big 12 and the ACC will have 2 automatic qualifiers, and the best group of 5 conference gets 1, and then you have 3 at large. So really, what it comes down to, Kevin, is 6 teams that do not win a conference championship. Those, remember the 16?
Yeah.
The three automatic.
Yes.
They're in. They're in.
And they don't win a conference championship. They don't have to win nothing.
I don't know, man.
That's crazy,
That's
Rick.
ballsy.
Does that make
that's
sense?
ballsy
That's
of
crazy,
the SEC
Rick.
and the Big
That's
Ten.
not, to me, that's not fair, man. You win your
I'm
conference.
shocked you're
you win
saying
your
that.
conference, you're in. And that's the way it
No,
should
it
be.
is. It is. But
You win
then
your
the
conference.
other ones have
And
to
then
be
they-
highly ranked.
Yeah. But they saying that conference would automatically get 3 bids in. No, man.
Well,
you can't do
that's
that.
what the SEC and the Big Ten want. Look,
Come on, SEC.
in
you
all
better than
honesty,
that. You
in
better than
all
that,
honesty,
SEC.
look at
We're
the
going to
number.
have 3 regardless, Rick, so they don't have to ask for that.
In all honesty, the Big Ten is going to 18 teams when they took all those Pac-12. The SEC is going to 16.
16.
So you got those commissioners of the Big Ten and they're looking at, well, we got 18, we got 16. What do you mean we might only get 1 or 2? No, we need a bigger piece of that pie.
Yeah.
If it's 12 or 14 or whatever.
Rick.
So yeah, I mean, they look at it, the sheer numbers that they have in their conference. And then
I
they're
agree with
also
you.
looking at it this way. They look at the Big 12. And who did the Big 12 add? BYU.
Come on, Rick.
Houston.
Don't even make me say that, Rick.
Cincinnati.
Don't even make me
Central
say that.
Florida. They're
Look.
looking down on the Big 12.
Look, Rick.
You don't deserve it, little guys.
The SEC will always be the dominant conference. I don't care how you look at it, how you rearrange this, 12, 14, 16 teams. The SEC will average 3 to 4 teams a year.
So you're saying
it's
don't
automatic.
You're saying it's arrogant of them, of the
Yes,
Big
it
Ten
is.
and the SEC
To ask for that.
You don't
need
demand
to do
it.
that.
To demand it.
You don't need to do that. SEC,
You're saying
gonna
it'll
get
take care of
regardless.
itself.
SEC, you will get it regardless. Come on. In years past, what has happened, Rick? They want to do it because it benefits them.
Well,
that's why.
They want it guaranteed. They want it guaranteed. They want a guaranteed piece
No.
of the pie.
You earn it. You earn it.
I'm
No.
shocked you're saying that.
You earn it, Rick.
I'm shocked.
You're not feeling that way, Rick?
No, look.
You earn it.
No. You
I'm
get
not
your
giving you
conference
nothing.
champion. No, you
I'm
get
not
your
giving you
conference
nothing.
champion in.
No.
And
I'm
you're
not
gonna
giving you
if Vanderbilt is highly ranked, Vanderbilt
Don't
gets
even
in.
start me, Rick.
No.
Don't even start me with Vanderbilt.
And look,
man, come on now.
the SEC or Big Ten, they could have 4 teams in.
That's what I'm saying.
If they're highly ranked.
Rick, yeah. That's what, so why?
It's
you
doubtful,
but Rick, wouldn't you see that that's been earned rather than given to somebody because you feel that's going to be the contract each year going in? You're going to get 3 automatic bids. That's not right, Rick.
Well,
I'm totally against that.
And
Rick.
look,
That's not
nothing
right.
is set in stone.
Yeah,
This
but
is
that's
a
not
lot
right,
of
Rick.
a lot of talk, meetings.
A lot of that, Rick, is for those teams to get guaranteed money too.
Well,
Okay.
look,
That's what's going to come
there
from
are
that.
reports that the ESPN
That's what's going to come from that. That's
CFP
guaranteed money
playoff
for those
deal
conferences.
is really not going to increase that much. Right now, it's a 6-year deal for $7.8 billion.
That's a
you
lot,
put a
Rick.
couple more games.
Yeah.
There's the reports
you
that the ESPN will not increase the money exponentially.
I can't see
So
it, Rick.
it may not be
I
a
can't
money.
see it.
It's
Well,
just the Big Ten and SEC wants a bigger
If you
piece
get
of the pie.
guaranteed teams in, that's money for the schools, Rick. Yes, it is. I'm not feeling that. No, earn it.
All right, well, I'm glad to hear that
Earn
because this thing could have gotten, and look, and like I said, nothing is set in stone.
No.
You've got coaches, and look, the ACC, the SEC and Big Ten look at the ACC as somewhat vulnerable. Why? Because Florida State and Clemson are not
is the
happy
only-
to be
yeah.
in the ACC.
Clemson is the only team that even made the SEC. I mean, they're the only ones that's really. I mean, in past championship years, who's won it from the ACC?
Well,
Clemson.
But
That's it.
you're dissing Florida State. They were unbeaten last year.
Watch yourself. I know.
Well,
where
they
you're
were
going with
unbeaten
that.
last year.
Watch
They-
yourself. I
they
know
didn't
you're
get
going
in,
with
but they
that.
were
No, they
unbeaten.
beat my Tigers too. So watch yourself.
Well,
okay?
North Carolina is
Yeah.
viable. North Carolina State, they're viable. All right?
North Carolina State is a basketball school.
Don't diss
It's a basketball
the
school.
ACC.
When we gonna
so-
remember that? It's a basketball school, okay?
What is? North Carolina?
Yeah, it's a basketball school, okay? Stop it.
Where's my
Stop
phone? I'll
it.
call Mac Brown and get his opinion on it. All right. Anyway, nothing is set in
Anyway,
stone.
no,
This
no.
is going to be
No,
more
it is.
talk involving
Talk about it more, but
egos, greed.
You got to earn that, Rick.
Money,
You can't
money,
be
money,
given
money,
that.
money.
Football
All right,
is
let's
different.
get on the NFL. We're gonna
Football
really
is
have
different.
fun as we move closer to the NFL draft. But
Yes.
I have to ask this question. I was looking at all the quarterbacks, and everybody's concentrating on Caleb Williams, Drake
Wait,
May,
let me-
Jalen Daniels.
Can I?
But there are like 7 or 8 other quarterbacks in this
Can
draft.
Can I interrupt you for just a minute to see something that came up on my phone the other day? Caleb Williams, USC.
Yeah. USC.
Do y'all know what he made last year in NIL deal?
I would think multi-millions.
You want me to tell you? I can show you.
Please tell me.
He made $11 million.
No, he did not.
Look it up.
11 million.
Caleb from USC. This man made $11 million with NIL deals.
That's a lot of money.
Look it up if you don't believe me.
Okay.
Look it up.
All right. So you've got Chicago with the number 1 pick, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jalen Daniels. My question is, should the New Orleans Saints, they're at the number 14 pick, should they figure out a way to maybe take a peek at a Michael Penix? Bo Nix is out there.
Let me tell you something.
I mean, there's a slew of guys out. Jordan Travis, remember him from Florida State? The broken leg, he's not getting anything. J.J. McCarthy.
Rick, your Saints is what, $10 million over the salary cap right now? Rick,
no, probably end up about 25. I'm just trying to raise the question.
Rick,
it's a possibility they might look at one of these quarterbacks.
The Saints have got to do something. Look at the Saints right now. Look at their roster, Rick.
I know. Offensive line, defensive line. I get it.
It's sad.
But I just want to make the point.
That's our local team, guys.
There are a lot of quarterbacks out there. A lot of them out there. All right, we're out of time.
Let's get it. It always goes too quick.
I know, it always goes too. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you down the road.
If it's a story worth telling, it starts with Getaways specializing in me time. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Escapes to soak the day away. And rounds on a course designed by Tom Fazio. Start a story all your own at L'Auberge Lake Charles.
Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
Simply Spiked Lemonade. Made with real fruit that fell from its tree and rolled right into the party. Simply Spiked. Tastes like your favorite juice, now spiked. Now introducing Simply Spiked Peach. It's getting juicy.